Hi, it's lovely to be here. My name's James, and I'm from a rewilding organisation called Sugi, and my job title is lead forest maker, which sounds very posh, but basically I just plant forests, I plant trees, we do ecosystem restoration, and predominantly we try and do it in urban areas. So we try to connect people and nature by creating like areas that are rewilded, areas that are forests within cities, really.
Wow, that's really interesting. Could you tell us more about being a lead forest maker in detail and why it's so important?
Yeah, of course. So I think the word forest like always makes us think of something like big, something wild, something that we're always slightly nervous of. But I think it's important to realize we can bring forests back that are quite small. I mean, some of them are like the size of a tennis court, but they still include incredible biodiversity. They still help the environment, they cool the ambient atmosphere, they kind of help with flooding. They've got so many benefits. And particularly, they're great for pollinators, for bees and all of this type of thing in urban cities. So that's really what my kind of work is based around. It's we look at areas within cities around the world. We've worked in about, I think, 38 cities now.
Wow.
And we look to how we can kind of bring these forest areas back, and then we try and involve the community as well as much as possible. We've worked with about 40,000 children like yourselves now, which is always great because you're the future, you're the important ones. It's kind of my generation and past generations that have messed it up. So I'm sure you'll be the ones that fix it with all your great ideas and everything. So that's a really important aspect for us, is working with children. And yet that's kind of what we do in a nutshell, really.
Wow. Wow, that sounds very interesting and diverse. Could you tell us how you came into this field? Were you always passionate about the environment, or did it just stumble onto you?
I used to be much more in like landscape design, landscape gardening. So we used to kind of build gardens and areas. And I always had a love for nature. I always had a love for forests. For some reason, forests kind of appealed to me. I think everybody, you kind of love the mountains or the sea or forests. And for me, one of the things I loved was forests. But I never really understood that you could create a forest. I always thought it was kind of way too complex. And then about 5 years ago, I kind of decided to change because I wanted to perhaps look at helping more the environment. And so I found this methodology, which is called the Miyawaki method, which is what we use to create our forests. And it was like, for me, it was like a light bulb moment. It was one of those, like someone showing me a solution about how you can actually create a forest ecosystem and all the magic that goes with that. So that sort of led me into forest making about 5 years ago. And it's evolved since then, really. And it's a real privilege. I mean, it's great to be able to plant trees and create forests sort of every day of your life, really. I'm very lucky to be able to do it.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, you sound like you really enjoy your job. You're very passionate. And so you told us what you love the most about it. So what is your advice to the next generation?
I think that the advice I would give is to follow your dreams and follow your passions. If you have a big idea, then go for it. A bit like you. I mean, you're 14 and 16, whatever, you're doing what you want, and that's great. And I think it's wonderful. And if we had 1 million children like you, then you'd probably all fix the world within a decade or something, the way you're going. So I would say follow your dream, follow your dream, think big, dream big, and start small. Start with one tree can make a huge difference. One area of wildflowers, going and picking up plastic from beaches, anything like that has an impact on the environment, and let it build. So yeah, my advice would be dream big, but start small.